Well, the SEC keeps stalling and stalling and stalling in the case that they have against Ripple. And I actually have one request, and that is, Judge Netburn, where are you? Because as of right now, the SEC pretty much responded to Ripple's request for the documents stating how the SEC and the governmental agencies came up with their decision as to how XRP is a security and how Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities. They haven't turned over those documents yet. In fact, the judge has asked them to twice, and Ripple has yet again filed another scathing motion telling the SEC that they need to turn over their documents. And in my opinion, this is something the judge needs to turn her attention to. Now, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt because so far in this case, she's been extremely thorough. So we're going to take a look at what this new motion says and why this actually needs to get resolved for anything else to happen in this case. In another crypto news, Tudor Jones, who is a massive hedge fund manager, recently came out and said it's of his opinion that if you see inflationary things happening, and unless you've been living under a rock recently, you have, he said you need to buy crypto. So I'm going to talk about what he just said and in fact what he is doing. What that's going to look like for Bitcoin and thus some of XRP and the rest of the altcoin market. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. On this channel, I'm covering the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit as well as other cryptocurrency news in investment markets and personal finance. So if any of those topics interest you, make sure you're subscribed. If you're new to the channel, just click that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon. That way you'll be notified when I release a new video. And also, if you're feeling generous, I'd really appreciate it if you go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and basically tells YouTube to show this video to new audiences. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, well, let's jump into it. So first, starting off with Tudor Jones, who, like I said, is a massive hedge fund manager, and he recently came out and he said that in his opinion, you should ramp up your crypto holdings from 1% to 5%. Now, that doesn't sound like a huge amount, but considering that he's a big commodities holder, a big gold holder, and now a big crypto holder, going from 1% to 5% might not seem like a lot, but that's a 500% increase from what he was previously doing. Now, in an article with Bloomberg, he came out and he said, well, right now, anytime you see inflationary things happening, go ahead and make inflationary trades. What is he saying by that? Well, he said, I'm looking at things like crypto. Now, he's also a holder of, like I said, commodities, as well as crypto, as well as gold. So he's pretty much diversifying his long-term holdings, and he thinks crypto, especially Bitcoin in particular, is a great place to hold, for long-term hedge against inflation, which is essentially what Bitcoin maximalists have been claiming for the past couple of years. But now you see these outside hedge funds really jumping in and agreeing with it. So is he right? What is inflation doing? Well, if you're the average person on the street, you can really see it. But as far as the indexes go, we have gasoline now hitting the highest it's seen in 3 years in terms of a national average. Food, of course, is up big time. And the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, rose by 0.6%, which was the biggest jump in almost 7 years, and it caps a 3.8% jump in inflation in the last 12 months, which is absolutely astronomical considering the Fed tries to keep inflationary rates at around 2%. Now, they keep telling us that this is just a temporary inflation. It's going to go to 4, 4.5, maybe even 5%, but it's going to come back down. Now, Tudor Jones basically came out and slammed the Fed for making such claims that it's going to be temporary. And Tudor Jones is not alone. There's actually many other hedge fund managers saying it's looking more and more like some of these inflationary items are actually here to stay. So what's that going to do to Bitcoin and the crypto market? Well, the theory is it's going to make it grow. But I don't think that's a theory. I think that is absolutely 100% going to happen. Now, are we going to have a face-melting, parabolic skyrocket to the moon end of year for Bitcoin and some of the altcoins like some of these model predictions are suggesting? I don't know. There's a chance. As of the last couple of days, it certainly doesn't look like we're heading into the other direction. Now, some people are saying this is a dead cat bounce. Bitcoin's only going to go to 40, 45, and then it's going to continue into its bear market cycle. Others are saying, nope, this is essentially the last couple of weeks were essentially the big pullback before the massive run to the end of the year where December and January we're going to see all-time highs with Bitcoin and a ton of altcoins. So something to keep your eye on. And in terms of this SEC case versus Ripple once again filed another motion with the judge asking for the SEC to turn over all their documents, all the intergovernmental agency documents in terms of how they came up with the conclusion that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities and XRP is. Now, I'm not going to go into the details of everything on this video because if you've been following these videos and many others that cover this case, You know that XRP, well, it's a stretch to call it a security, and Ethereum, it's not exactly a stretch to call that a security. How did they escape it? Again, that's another video. But as of right now, the SEC has yet to turn over any of those documents, any of those emails, any of those correspondence between the SEC and all the other intergovernmental agencies that had the discussion, that actually had input into those cases. And of course, you have the conspiratorial side of things that want to investigate Jay Clayton and William Hinman into how they actually made tens of millions of dollars while they were in the SEC, claiming that Bitcoin and Ethereum were not in fact securities. So as it stands right now, Judge Netburn needs to come out and actually either have a ruling on some of these or maybe even have another teleconference. I don't know. Something to get the discussions going again, because right now the SEC is just playing the stall game. They tried to extend the discovery period for an additional 60 days, to which Ripple said, no. We need to do this now. So I am paying a very close attention to what James K. Filan on Twitter says, as well as Jeremy Hogan on Twitter says, who are two outside attorneys following this case extremely closely. And if you are on Twitter, I would go follow them as well. And for this video, I wanted to leave you with some predictions that I want you to let me know in the comment section what you think about. Now, in my last video, one of the analysts who looks over XRP and some of the other altcoin markets says XRP has a really, really good chance of being a 100x coin by the end of the year. Meaning it's going to be worth about $100 or more by the end of the year. Now, a lot of that was largely based on the SEC case being done with, it being relisted on exchanges again, and having regulatory clarity. Well, I saw another one that was specifically talking about Ethereum, and he was looking at some charts, basically looking at how many deposits actually went through on the Ethereum network month by month. And May set one of the all-time highs. And from what this analyst was saying, this could be a good indicator that Ethereum is about to go on a face-melting parabolic bull run right along with Bitcoin, if in fact that actually happens. His prediction was $85,000 end of year for Ethereum. Now, you could say he was a little bit biased, just like the one that made the prediction that XRP is going to be $100 by the end of the year. Because after all, a lot of these people that are making these predictions have huge holdings in these particular coins. So you need to take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, they're not completely making it up out of thin air. They are reading a lot of the charts, a lot of the technicals, and looking at the momentum. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. And once again, thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.